What's going on, everybody, and welcome to What the Filmcore podcast number 13. I'm James Paul Shephard, and here with me today is Dillon Painter.
We back in this, baby.
And our guest for the second time, we got Jimmy Lombardo from LoMo Media.
They actually let me back. Holy, wow. Thanks, guys.
On this episode, we'll be talking about Dune, talking about what Filmcore Digital's up to, and getting off topic. So let's get into it. So what's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing today?
What's up?
It's good to have Jimmy back on the podcast.
Appreciate you having me, guys. Appreciate it. Always a pleasure to be on What the Filmcore. I enjoy it.
Dude, I need as much time with Jimmy and James as possible. So this is great.
Oh, yeah.
This is good. It's a nice reunion to come back and have our good friend with us over here. So I'm excited, guys.
Maybe a better movie? Maybe
We'll see. Last one.
Which one were you? Which one did you do? Oh, it was
The Reminiscence.
Hugh Jackman. Yeah. See,
man. See, we forgot about we even did that podcast. I don't forget about it because every day Facebook lets me know. It shows me, hey, remember this? It's like one of those little ad things you want to pay to promote this podcast. I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't want to promote that one at all. Jimmy, what's going on over there in LoMo?
Oh man, we are continuing to be busy. We just released a episode of the LoMo show that bridged more into like almost a short film with the cult. And we also have a short, I'm going to call it a short film. You can take it or leave it if it actually is. We have a short film called Open Window coming out on Halloween. So it'll be coming out this weekend. So either Saturday or Sunday, depending on how editing going. So I'm excited about that. We moved our podcast to audio, and we got a special guest voice appearing on one of the last episodes of the LoMo show. So I'm excited for that.
Awesome. Yeah, I did like your
That's right. Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to read those lines.
Badger's like, wait a minute, who's it gonna be? Be?
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I liked the last one. I liked the last one you guys just released. It was really, really well done.
Appreciate that.
I was hoping for some because I thought that was the Halloween one, so I thought it was gonna be a little gory getting into there. But you got the Halloween one coming out on Halloween, so that's awesome. Dillon, how have you been, man?
Man, I've been drowning. I'm not even gonna lie. I've been drowning, man. It's just work. I started streaming on Twitch. We're doing really good. Double Badger _ on Twitch, and it's good. But man, I really got spent, and so this week I'm gonna continue being spent. I'm planning a trip to fly and see my brother in the Dallas area, and things are good. We're just I need a break from work is what I need.
Yeah.
But man, as far as like here, we're doing great. Just rocking and rolling, dude. Me and Mrs. Badger, you know.
That's awesome to hear.
What about yourself? How have you been?
I'm in that same pool, dude. I am in that same pool. The water is up to here. I'm in my 30s and I forgot how to swim, so I'm working on it. I'm trying.
Same.
We actually had like a half
swim.
Yeah. We actually got together a little before this podcast and we were talking about some stuff that we might do about us learning how to swim. But Filmcore Digital has been on hiatus lately, trying to get back in the groove of things. I say we like there's a team here. I have the team of this guy, so I'm trying to build something out of it. But as of right now, it's getting harder. I started a day job, an actual day job, so trying to balance that stuff out. I know I don't know how these young bucks out there do it. Oh wait, they don't work. They get to They get to do
Yeah.
it without working.
I was about to say they probably have access to Adderall and I don't.
Yeah. If you can get us a prescription of that, go ahead and leave a comment. Leave a comment.
Yeah, if there's any doctors out there that can write a prescription, let us know.
Yeah, we could definitely use that. You would definitely see a lot more content from all of
Man.
us. But we're getting back into the groove of things. I'm glad that we are getting back into this podcast. We missed a couple episodes that we needed to, some films that we didn't do. I didn't even go see the one that we were gonna do yet. I'm gonna watch it eventually. But what was that
007?
one? Yeah, the 007.
I didn't either.
But I'm going to.
Which is sad because 00 is kind of a part of what I do. You would think, but I didn't go see it. But I've heard good things about it. I don't know. We'll have to check it out.
Yeah, definitely we'll watch that. There's so many. It's hard to keep
Man.
up watching the ones that I want to watch opposed to the ones that get voted on here that I'll watch because it got voted. And then it's like trying to find the time to watch the next one, the other one that you didn't get voted, but you want to watch it because that was the one you really wanted to watch. So trying to balance that stuff out. Definitely working on that. I bought a metal detector.
Nice.
The only reason I bought a metal detector, if you haven't noticed, is I lost my wedding ring out in the yard. I was playing volleyball with the foster daughter, and we were hitting the ball and stuff, and I went to go swing at it really hard, and my hand was sweaty, and it just flew. I don't even know. I was out there for like a couple hours, just apparently I have a lot of nickel in my like 4 to 6 inches underground. So I told my wife that there's probably going to be a lot of holes in our yard because this thing is telling me I got a lot of cool stuff in my yard. So,
hey man, that's content, brother. That's content.
I know,
Just
right?
letting you know. Get that camera rolling.
Set the camera up there, and we just cut it going from hole to hole. Yeah, so let's Filmcore Digital is gonna get back into the groove of things. We're just with a day job trying to balance it out, but we're coming back. But you guys are here to know what we think about this movie Dune. So, Dune is a feature adaptation of Frank Herbert's science fiction novel about a son of a noble family entrusted with the protection of the most valuable asset and most vital element in the galaxy.
Screenplay written by John Spates, Denis Villeneuve, butchered, Eric Roth, and directed by Denis.
There we go.
Starring Timothy Chalamet, Rebecca Ferguson, Oscar Isaac, Jason Momoa, and many other great actors. Stacked, absolutely stacked.
Oh yeah, dude, a lot in there.
Probably the biggest stacked cast that we've seen in a long time.
In a while,
minus
yeah.
minus Marvel movies.
But because you can't count those. Rotten Tomatoes the critics giving it an 83%, but audience, us guys out here, giving it a 91%. So let's find out if it's actually a 91%. We got a budget of $165 million. It's a pretty good budget for what they did for this film, which we're going to be talking about the visuals of this film. So far,
I was expecting that to be higher, though.
I was expecting it to be way higher.
See, I was, because it looked like, seeing the trailer, it looked really good, and I wanted to see it, but I expected people not to want to go and it be lower. Like, you're talking about the budget, right? On how much it spent? Yeah.
Yes.
I thought it looked, from the trailer, it didn't look as high-end budget as I thought, like it's $165 million. Because what did we just do? We just reviewed a movie that had a Carnage. Carnage had a lower budget than that.
Yeah, way lower.
And and it had
exactly.
Yeah, it was lower than 165 because I was amazed on how low it was for the visuals that they did in there. But we talked about that last time. I didn't really care for the visuals that they did,
right?
And we compared it to an old Venom. But it's been out for what, 2-3 days now, and it's already at $147 million worldwide. So it's almost there in 3 days, paying back what they spent into the movie. So
Right.
I feel like that's a really good job. Some movies
Yeah.
it takes a few weeks, maybe a couple months before they get close to breaking even and then hitting that threshold. Jimmy, being the guest, let's get some thoughts on this film, good
Man,
sir.
man, I'm the one that has to break the ice on this film.
You do.
I think
You
that
do.
I think that Badger and I have the same feeling about this film, and I'd be surprised if we didn't. But I think the wild card here is going to be James. I'm curious to see what you're saying, but without further ado, I absolutely love this movie. Everybody, I loved every bit of this movie. I got to see it in theaters. I sat in a nice little comfy reclining chair, and I absolutely loved it. I loved the way everything looked. I loved the acting in it, and I absolutely loved the story. So, everybody else hate it.
But James, you go ahead, buddy. You go ahead.
You all right, you want me to take the reins on this?
I do.
All right. Okay, so starting off, and if you've listened to the podcast, you know me. This movie visually was amazing. Oh my gosh, like
I
I
agree.
loved the color grade that they chose for all the scenes. It was amazing. I saw one critic talking about how it was not good on the color grading. It was poorly picked.
Really?
I feel like it was fantastic for the scene, like the scene, like for the sci-fi-esque movie that it is. I feel like that was perfect color grading. Um, the CG interacted with the actual environment and everything, the scene so well. Like when the ship came down,
Right.
excuse me, when you first saw the ship come down and just the reflection in the like because you see films where they have the reflection in the water and it's like water. This was like little bit of puddles, not like full water, just puddles here and there, and how it captured the reflection in that water of each section of the ship that it should have been was just beautiful, man. I loved it. um I've never seen the original from 84. i
Neither.
I never read the book, so I can't
Yeah, me
compare
neither.
this to either one of those. Like I've seen a lot of critics are comparing it to those two.
Right.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know. But this one, dude, the large acting cast that we were talking about just a minute ago, fantastic. I think each one of them played their character really well. I'm not a fan of Batista. I mean, not even as Drax. I mean, I guess he's all right because he's the only person I've seen play him. But I
Right.
don't really care for him as an actor. But I think he did really well in it. I mean, his scenes were short; they were small. I mean, it wasn't a huge role, but I think he did well. Timothy as Paul, like I felt like right when we first saw him in here, like I liked his character. Like I felt like he's very relatable. I could connect with him because he's like a prince or something of these people. Like but
Hey,
it didn't
Duke.
seem that it didn't seem like he was like some films where you see where the prince or whatever is like arrogant and he's an a-hole, and he just felt like a
Right.
normal person.
His people
Um,
liked him.
yeah, yeah, he was very
Yeah.
very likable, and I could connect with that. Now, the film did have some slow parts.
Oh yeah.
It did have some parts where I was starting to doze off and I'm like, what's going on? Is this going to pick up? But what kept me going is the visuals. The visuals helped me like stay because me personally, I don't know if it's going to help everybody, but me personally, I liked looking at the visuals of films and seeing like just the color grading and this like the way everything interacts with the CG, and that definitely kept me engaged. So I would say, might be far fetched, but I would say visually, this is the best movie of this year, hands
I
down.
agree. Yeah, 100%.
Best, like the cinematography, everything was done so well in this movie.
Some may
So
say might be the best movie this year altogether. I don't know who those people would be. Might be me, but some of them.
Mm-hmm.
see, I would say like I almost said that, but some of the plot and the story, I just it drug it just I couldn't follow the whole story if it wasn't for the visuals. Like if it was just a plot, like if they were just in the sand and it was just blah, I would probably wouldn't have
Yeah, I hear you.
stayed awake. But definitely a visually great movie of the year. What about you, Dillon?
So I definitely agree with you. I think one of the best things about this movie was the cinematography, the way it was shot. Um, it was literally like really captivating shots. Um, and I'll be honest, that's the only good thing I have to say about the movie. I
Whoa.
thoroughly did not enjoy it.
Dang.
I I'm serious. I
Holy.
so we watched it at my friend's home theater, which is not just like a TV in a room. It's a 100-inch screen. He's got literally Dolby surround sound. It's like a personal theater. So I don't think it had anything to do with me not being in a theater because, it's on HBO Max. That's how I saw it. And we all, we had to pause about an hour and a half in because one of the viewers is a pregnant female, and she was like, "I have to go pee." And I looked around and I was like, "Am I the only one that doesn't know what's going on?" And they were like, "I'm so glad you say that. This story sucks." I'm serious. All four of us were like, "That was too long of a movie, 2.5 hours to barely explain anything." The second half of the movie
Whoa.
was okay. So I'm very surprised. I know I had to surprise you. Badger's the
Whoa.
critical one in this. I give it a 5 out of 10. The only reason I give it
Whoa.
5 is because the cinematography and the visuals. The acting, awesome. Acting, cinematography, visuals, awesome. Too bad it didn't have a story to support it.
Man, that's crazy. I'm over here thinking, like, I'm like saying, like, dude, that's nuts because I think this might be the best film I've seen in the last 5 years.
Goodbye. This is the last time LoMo Media will be on this show.
That's
No, I'm just
crazy.
kidding. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion. I think if the second one does a little more explaining on things,
Mhm.
and maybe this is a movie, what I felt like it was a movie meant for the people that read the book and saw the first one, which neither one of us did, which shows me that no, I'm incorrect in that because you guys liked it more than I did. I'll be honest, man. I would not recommend. I would probably someone go recommend this movie, but I would say if you get an hour and a half in and you don't like it, get up and go because it's way too dang long to not explain anything. Like I think
Dang.
if it was 2 hours long, I'd been like, okay, but that 2.5 hours, dude, I was worn out and still by the end of it, I was like, dude, it like barely explained anything. Like
That's crazy
it
though. That's like it's weird that like two people or like that's a great thing about talking about films, and that's a great thing
mm-hmm,
about doing like podcasts and stuff. It's like it would kind of suck if like all three of us had the same. This is interesting because like I felt like when I left it, maybe it's just the way that I felt like I understood how the story, and maybe it's because I just got invested into these characters, and maybe
mm-hmm.
like I'm looking forward to like a part two. I definitely agree, though. It is a little bit longer than it needed to be.
Yeah.
I will side with you on that.
Oh yeah,
But
Man,
definitely. It
so
should have cut shorter because like I said,
like
like I
two
had mentioned
hours.
too, yeah, it did have long drawn out scenes that just
Mm-hmm.
didn't make sense. But I mean the I can't agree with you about the not having a story because the story is there.
Mm. I
I
just feel
mean,
like I don't feel like he was backed up well. I don't feel like that. It was like literally the most that we learned about the outside world was through his little stupid tapes. I was like,
yeah,
bro,
but that was about Archaea or whatever that planet's called. That's what he was learning about.
yeah.
right. And which is like a kind of a big part of the movie, like we didn't learn anything about these people's religion. Like it threw around these words like to kind of hint that like they think that he and his mother are like the Messiah. Um and I don't know, man. I just
Oh, that's weird because I feel like we learned a lot about the Furmen. We've like understood like how they like interacted and why their eyes were blue. And then when we
I mean,
first
yeah,
meet, and when we meet that mother that does the test, we kind of learn more about the religion, which is the same. So like in my eyes, like that whole thing there is the religion that they believe, but we're seeing it happen like right on the screen.
okay. I don't know, man. Maybe I need to give it another shot, but all four of us, I'm not kidding you. Me, my buddy Marcus, his wife Katie, and my wife, all four of us were like, meh. All four of us. And she was like, maybe we were just not invested. And I was like, I don't know, man. We weren't doing anything else. We were watching the movie. We weren't talking. You know, I don't know, man. It didn't hit me like that. I was like, man, this is way too long. My wife fell asleep. She woke
Really?
up and was like, she was like, what happened after they crashed? She fell asleep when they went into that storm. You know, him and his mom. And I will say that I really like that power, the remover gag. You know, that voice.
That kind of
it's
scared
cool.
me though. That kind of
Yeah,
scared me at times.
when you first heard it,
Yeah,
when
it was like
the old lady.
yeah, because I don't get
Oh, dude,
like,
yeah, Neil.
like I don't get
Yeah.
scared at like horror movies at all. But that actually like I jumped when I first heard that. I was like, holy, like that. And then you hear his mom do it in the like in that plane, and I was like, geez.
Woo, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
and the thing.
there were cool things. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, good.
I like that. I think I like the story. I just don't feel like the movie told it good enough. I really don't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The thing that I liked about the voice is the power. Like it's the like she even mentioned it in there. It's the pitch you have to use it. It's not just something they can do. You have to
Right.
learn the pitch of it. But the thing that I didn't like was the consistency of the power. So when the mom and the son are in the plane, which hold on, let's talk about that real quick. Those freaking Dragonfly helicopters were awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Those things were amazing.
I loved.
I
But
want those in
all
real
the
life.
Little
technology.
thopters. Yeah.
Those
Every
things were sweet.
technology in there, it was like it made it futuristic, but still like we could picture that in real life. That's what I really
yeah.
liked about all the technology.
Yeah, with
But
the
that part that they're in there,
yeah. So when they're in there and they do it, the voice, it's like the Jedi. It's like Jedi. So they tell them to do something and they do it. Now, when the old lady did it, the way that they visually made it seem is she did telekinesis or telekinesis is where you control stuff. No, telekinesis is when you make mind control. Telekinetic, where it looked like she, when she said "get over here," pulled him over, like he drifted over, and then she said "get to your knees" and like made him go down. So like the consistency of that, I was like, wait, do they actually? Is it telekinetic where they can
Well, I
control?
think it might be power
Jedi?
levels though.
I was
That's
just
how-
about to say maybe
Okay.
it's
Yeah,
maybe
I don't
it's
think
right.
I don't think it's meant to be consistent. I think she is the most powerful, so she can actually do that. And then like his mom is like the mid tier where she
Yeah.
can like do it there, and then he's kind of like that, like barely able to do it. I think it's like
Yeah.
a scale. I don't think it's just like a power like you can fly. I think it's
I understand.
I think it's a
Yeah.
scale.
Yeah, that's what
For
I was
sure.
like. I didn't know like. I mean, because yeah, they made it look like she's actually telekinetic and can control, and then they can just do the Jedi. These are not the droids you're looking for thing. But speaking of the future that you just said, Badger, this is set in the future. Holy cow! So this book was written a long time ago, like 50 something years
60s.
ago. Yeah. So to have it is set in the year 10,191.
Hmm.
Almost 8,000 years from now. To think of that back then, like I just thought that was amazing because like when we watch movies
cool.
growing up, they're like future 2022, like and they go 2049 and it's like holy crap to think that far in the future. I thought it was amazing. I did watch the trailer for Dune, the one shot in 1984.
Yeah, we did too.
And- oh my god, dude! Did you see? Okay, so one effect that I love from this movie is their body shields. I want to recreate that. That is so freaking awesome.
Knew it.
yeah,
I knew
right?
you were gonna say that. Taryn and I both said it. She goes, I bet Filmcore wants to do that shield.
I
She
want to
did.
do it. Is so awesome. But in that trailer of the 84 one, did you see how they did the shials? Did you pay
I guess
attention
I
how they?
didn't.
I didn't watch it.
Oh my god, dude!
Was it bad?
Oh, it is so bad. It is so bad. It's just like square, like red squares over their body, like transparent squares just covering them. And oh man,
That was directed by David Lynch, though, wasn't it?
yes,
It
Isn't
yep,
that a
David.
David Lynch
was.
movie?
Yes,
Yes.
that was.
Which I love David Lynch.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I was wondering
Yeah.
there.
I mean, apparently it's a good movie because a lot of critics are saying that one was better than this one,
I'll
and
have to
this one
watch
is
it.
actually not an adaptation of the book. It's actually a remake of that one. So
Gotcha. Okay.
I wanted to watch, I think I might sit down and watch it, even though the
I'm
visuals
probably gonna
are
watch it.
so
I probably
hard
will
to
too.
watch.
I want to
But
see it.
so I mean, that I thought that was cool to see how far like technology and visual effects have come from back then.
Hmm.
It's amazing. But there is one quote that I think I'm gonna get on a poster now, from this movie that Jason Momoa said, which I thought was freaking awesome. Is
Hmm.
dreams make good stories, but the important things happen when we are awake.
Hmm.
Yes,
I
sir.
thought that was awesome. I think that takes like I think that's a quotable thing to put up on the wall. That was
Yeah.
really good quote.
I think so too. In about segue into Jason Momoa. After seeing Aquaman, I really thought that he was a crappy actor. Turns out Aquaman's just a garbage movie.
Aquaman is a
And
very bad movie, and I will die on that
Yeah,
hill. I will
yeah,
die. Aquaman is a terrible movie,
it
and
really
like
is because Jason Momoa acted the crap out of that movie. He was amazing. He's probably my favorite character, dude. That part
yeah,
when he
but
puts
doesn't
the
that make
shield on
it?
his. Mm.
Yeah, but that makes it worse though. Now that we know, we could see this in this movie how good of an actor he was, and just know that he was carrying that whole film. You're like, wow, that movie
He was
was even worse.
carrying Aqu.
Like
Yeah.
that was worse.
yeah. That movie, the animated, like I even said this when it came out, and we went and seen that. The animated version of Aquaman, Arthur Curry and everything, the animated DC one was way
Way
better.
better.
Way better. I mean, it was almost the exact same movie. They tried to like mimic the movie and make it live action, but
Yeah.
the animated, and I've said that from day one. You've heard this podcast. DC cannot make a good movie. They can make animated movies out the wazoo, but they cannot make a good live action movie.
Right.
Except for the
Man.
Batman series, I think those are amazing. But I haven't seen
Yeah.
I haven't seen me personally. I haven't seen a DC movie that I would be like, oh, that's a freaking awesome movie.
Oh, the new Suicide Squad.
Not
Yeah.
even that one.
Yeah. I
We
mean,
did
I
the
liked it,
podcast on
but
that one. Yeah, I
yeah,
liked it.
I
It
mean,
just
it wasn't. Yeah, but that that just goes back to the cast, the stacked cast in this movie, man. Every single one of them did amazing. Like, I mean,
yeah.
they really like. I I was floored with the acting in this movie, and I guess I don't have the only negative thing that I have to say is like I just wasn't captured by the story.
Yeah.
That's me. So, but I feel like maybe if I give it another chance, I don't know.
I got a question for you, and
Yeah,
I think I figured out where the differences lie. What were your expectations going into the film?
I had none. I don't know anything about Dune,
Oh, so
and
you weren't thinking it was going to be like a really good movie.
no.
My
I mean, I was
my
like,
I thought it was going to be terrible. I went in with the
oh, okay,
lowest of low expectations. I thought it was going to be the worst movie I've seen all year. I thought when I see, because I have a thing, when I see a 2.5 hour like runtime and a cast out like this, I'm like, oh, it's a money grab. That's all it is. And I went in
got
with
you.
the lowest expectations. I remember I had my popcorn. I put that recliner all the way back. I was like, if I fall asleep, I fall asleep, whatever. And I was like, I walked out of there. I was like, this is the best movie I've ever seen.
Wow,
Yeah.
man. I don't know. Like I literally was like, I knew that it just looked epic. I really liked the trailers because I was like, ooh, I like a trailer that doesn't really tell me much, but I
Mhm.
don't like the movie to not tell me very much. I want to know. I don't know. I just really felt like they could have done more in explaining those Harkins and
Yeah, they didn't
and
really.
maybe we're not meant
Yeah.
to know right now. Maybe we're not
Yeah.
meant to know right now.
Well,
But it
yeah.
was just like I don't know. It was just
Well,
like
maybe you'll like
we left the
the part
planet,
two.
and then yeah, maybe the part two kind of
Well, that's what Denny was saying. Is it? This is not a. There's no like end to this film. There's no like real big explanation. There's no big story to this one. I mean, there's a story there, but it's not like because he wanted the number two. Like he even mentioned when he was doing this one right off the get go, there will be a number two because he wants everything to be covered that the story covers.
But it
So
says it even at the beginning of the film. I don't know if you
part
guys
one.
saw it, but it says part
Yeah,
Like
this
this
is
is
part
part
one.
one, and the studio hasn't even greenlit the second one yet.
Yep.
Which is the
Wow.
crazy part. But if you listen to him talk, to James's point, he said this like movie is intended to be a world builder. It's
Mm-hmm.
to build to build the foundation, and that's all this movie was intended. So that might be why like it. Some people say it lacks in story, lacks in
Mm-hmm.
like meat, because it was just meant to build the box. And then I think like as this franchise goes on, we'll start to learn more and more, and maybe get into the actual meat of this like world.
So
Perhaps.
back to my argument. Are you gonna? How can you be lacking in a story when it's meant to build? Like,
But it
I
did.
feel like
Did the end not make you want to see more
well,
of what's
yeah.
going on?
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh
that's
yeah, for sure.
that was the whole point of the movie. I mean, yes, the slow. There are, I mean, the story's there for me. I mean, I followed the story of what was going on, but like the end, it made you want to see that part too. It left you. I mean, they purposely said they're going to do that, but it left you. I usually hate movies that
do that.
don't that they leave you on a cliffhanger and they don't tell you what's going on, because
Right.
a majority of the time they don't give you a sequel. Like they don't. It just ended there because they leave it for possibilities, but the sequel never gets greenlit and
Greenlit. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So, but I mean, it did as soon as him at the end. No, that I mean, I was like, oh, dude, I can't wait for the second one, especially if they keep it with the same cinematographer, same visual effects house that they went through. Like that movie was eye pleasing for sure.
Oh yeah. I definitely agree with that.
Can I talk about my biggest gripe with this film?
What's up?
Please, I've griped enough.
Um, so this world is set in the year 10,191. There's big ships. It is like the most futuristic thing. Why is everybody named Paul and Jessica? Like why is our main character named Paul? Why? It is the year like
You want my opinion?
the guy lives on Caladan. Like, come on. Why is it Paul?
I think that a lot of this movie is biblical influence.
Yep.
Oh.
And naming a main character after the Apostle Paul, that a world of people believe him and his mother are the Messiah. I got heavy
That makes sense. I didn't even
biblical
think about that.
influences from that movie, which is not a bad thing.
Well, I
It's not-
mean,
it's not a bad thing.
on that note, that Frank Herbert that he did,
Yep.
he based it on
For
the
sure.
Islamic, and I think it was shot over in Jordan. Majority of the film was shot in Jordan, in Abu Dhabi
Right?
Yeah.
desert or something. So I mean, yeah, it said he did mention that it was influenced on that aspect of it. So, but I mean, they could have just ran out of names and just went with normal people's
Duncan,
names.
Idaho?
Well, what's what's his name? Brolin, or not Brolin. Brolin was
Gunnery or Genry.
Javier was Stilgar.
Yeah.
Stilgar.
Like,
I mean, those are
that's
future
cool.
names.
Yeah. Like Genry and Stilgar. Like, I'm here for that. Paul,
And then
Leto, and Jessica.
Duncan?
Like Duncan? Yeah, I'm good. I'm good on that.
I have a gripe like that too. So it's 10,000 these sacred palm trees, and you got to water them by hand, bro.
That's another one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
With
will
a
have to say
ladle?
the ladle. Yeah.
So,
And I know that James really liked it, but it's like in the first 5 minutes, I was like, oh, another ship. Oh, another ship. Oh, a different kind of ship. Oh, look, another ship. How many different ships did they show
Well,
in the first like 6 minutes of this movie?
yeah, and I mean they got to make
I
it
think it was to-
futuristic.
Yeah,
But it
and
was
show
cool.
the vastness.
Yeah, but like, did anybody else get the Tremors vibe when they first saw the sandworms?
worm? Oh yes, I was like, I literally go,
Tremors.
that's the biggest trimmer I've ever seen. Yeah.
And the thing is like how it comes out and everything. It's like rip off of Tremors for sure.
Mhm.
But I
Well,
mean,
I
the
think
book was
technically
written
this-
way before. Yeah.
Way before trimmers. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about some things though. If we want to talk, and this is a hot take. I don't know how everybody's feel is about Star Wars. Like, are we Star Wars fans here?
Oh, 100%.
Like
Oh, yeah.
this this book like influenced Star Wars like
Oh yeah.
100%. Like there's so many like rip-offs from this book in like Star Wars. You're like, wow. When you watch
Yep.
this, I was like, wow, they took a lot from this book.
Mm-hmm.
A
And that's
lot.
the thing too. I was telling somebody I'm seeing this movie and it's going to be on a podcast, and they're like, "Oh, is that that Star Wars movie?" I'm like, "It has nothing to do with Star Wars." They're like, "Oh, I saw the trailer. I thought it was a Star Wars movie." No, it's not. It's not a prequel, sequel. No, it has nothing to do with Star Wars. But yeah, I can see where you watch it and you're thinking it has
Yeah, I mean
something
the
to do with
sandworm,
Star
the
Wars.
two like moons and
Oh
you're like,
yeah.
wow, this is some
Yeah.
But
heavy
talking
influence.
about visuals real quick, did you like I think one of my favorite visuals interacting was when the worm came up and looked at Paul, was sitting there staring at Paul. I mean, it was cool to see the worm and it kind of looked like an eye, like the eye looked like an
Yes.
iris the way that it was looking.
Yes.
But my favorite part of that scene is when the worm went back down in the sand, and the sand, like, I want to look it up and I want to find out if the sand was actual CG or if they actually had something where the sand was, because the way that just flew like water coming up on that rock was
Yes.
it was amazing. It was so
It's funny.
visually
I know
appealing. I
exactly what
loved
you're
it.
talking about. It looked like water, like how it,
Yeah.
when he went back in, it displaced it and then it kind of came back in. Yeah. It's interesting.
And to me, I don't know about you guys, but there wasn't one part of the film that felt green screen to me. I know
No,
they
it
used
was
a
made.
lot
No,
of green screen on there, but it didn't
no,
feel
you're right.
like.
It didn't feel like it at all.
I
No,
was
it
like,
looked great.
wow. Even the scene where he got saved from the sand and they're in the dragonfly chopper thing, like when
Mhm.
he's holding them there and it's like looking out in the distance, that did not even feel like it felt like it was shot right there.
Right.
So they kudos, they did a great job on the visuals in this film.
Yeah.
We got two for sure really liked it. One not so much. He wouldn't recommend it.
I mean, I
But
would
like we
recommend it,
say,
but
yeah.
yeah.
We say go see a film anyways. We don't
Yeah.
want to be the reason you don't see a film. We just give you an idea of what's going
Mhm.
on in the film. But
I
I
just don't
liked
want to
it.
tell you you're going to be 100% happy at 2.5 hours later. You might be
Oh
like,
yeah,
oh,
I
I
mean
should have done laundry.
that's
I don't
I
know.
mean that's what I said about Venom. I didn't think it was
Mm-hmm.
very it wasn't a great movie, but it was not as long. So I mean I feel like if Venom was that long, I wouldn't have
Oof.
watched it. I would have had to. Ooh, that was a
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, so definitely go check out that podcast if you guys want to know what we thought about the Venom movie. Uh, but yeah, it was some fun facts. So let's get some fun facts. I got some fun facts about this film. It was really cool to know that the composer of this film, Hans Zimmer, that did all the
Nice.
scoring and stuff for this, what he actually was a huge fan of the novel growing up. So he turned down uh, Timothy or Christopher Nolan's Tenet to do the score for this, which is
Wow.
which is which is really cool. So he turned that film down, which that's another film I wasn't it was I didn't care for that Tenet
Very
film.
bad movie.
Yeah, it was
Oh, I didn't
cool
see it.
concept, awesome concept. Movie, no, I definitely go see it if you want to know what's going on. Don't see it if you want to save some time and not know what's going on. And
Okay.
in 1984 Dune, the Harkonnens were depicted as red hair. So everybody, the Harkonnens in there were all redheads. In this one, they're
Mm-hmm.
all depicted as bald people. So none of them have
Mm-hmm.
hair, which I feel like the year 10,000 we figured out how to get rid of the hair loss and everybody's got hair, but apparently not.
We don't need to
So
There
talk
you
about
go.
hair loss anymore, Japes. I don't know why we're bringing this up on the podcast.
uh,
Well,
well, that's it.
I thought it was something that they were doing because they didn't even have eyebrows.
Yeah. So it,
Like,
I
or
mean,
if they
I
did, I
guess,
couldn't see them.
yeah.
Mm-mm.
So apparently they don't have hair in 10,000. Um,
Yeah,
so
take that,
this,
everybody.
so this movie premiered 101 years after Frank Herbert was born. It took place 56 years after Herbert wrote the story, and 37 years after the first Dune movie. in '84.
Mm.
So I thought that was interesting in how they, like 101 years after he was born, they made an awesome movie about it. I can't say they didn't make an awesome movie about the first one because I didn't see the
Seen
first
it.
one. I feel like in '84 those graphics would have been amazing. I was only 1 year
Right.
old, so I don't know. It would have been awesome to me, I guess. So they do have a part two of this film, and they're already doing a series. They're doing the Dune series for this.
Oh no,
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that because it's
too
like,
much, too
yeah.
much.
How do you have the movie, the sequel, and then
Money
how are
grab.
you going to continue it with the?
Money
So
grabs.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They're like, hey, you just make that really good movie, and here we go. Now, just yeah.
In typical Warner Brothers fashion, let's run it into the ground.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, they are contracted to do the DC movies, so they know all about ruining things.
So, Jimmy.
What's-
Oh.
Oh
So
man.
so before we get off topic and talk about other films, we're gonna go ahead and thank our Patreon members, and those members are Leslie Murphy, Vicky and David Ingblom, Dustin Clark, Bobby Saravanera, Angela Marie, Little Thrusty, Danny Galwin, Carl Robbins, and Dylan Painter. I want to thank everybody for your support. And if you want to become a Patreon member and check out all the benefits that we offer over there, go to patreon.com/filmcore digital to see all that. Okay, so let's get into some off-topic movies. Jimmy, what's a movie that you're excited about seeing that's coming out?
So I mean, I have to say it. I mean, I saw like 1,000 trailers for it, and it's like at first I was like, am I in the right movie theater? Because everything was like upcoming next 007, and I was like, am I in the right movie theater? I really want to see it. I've been a huge Bond fan since I was a kid. I mean, that's like one thing my dad and I like bonded over, which is not meant to be a pun, but you got one anyways. So I'm just excited for it. I know it's Craig's last one, and I'm gonna definitely see it eventually. So
Yeah, that's why
that's
I want to
definitely
see
what
it.
I'm definitely
'Cause
looking forward to it.
Weren't there here talk of Henry Cavill being the next James Bond? Or
I think
someone
he
wants him
turned
to
it
be,
down though.
or
Yeah,
something.
I think he turned
Yeah, I
it
thought he
down
turned
though.
it down. Yeah.
And so did
I don't blame him.
Idris Alba. They wanted him to do it. Now they're talking about going in the direction of it being a female Bond. So,
Doesn't
I mean,
surprise me.
that's the way Hollywood's going. Let's just roll reversal gender
Oh,
everything.
you don't want to hear my hot take? Probably.
What's the hot take? Give it to me.
So I have nothing wrong with people wanting to do that. What I think that they should do though is they should just branch out into the Bond universe and like explore different double O's. Like you don't need to change 007, but you can make like 009 or like
Yeah.
006.
006.
And like
0069.
there's like so much more lore that you can do in this thing. Like why are you just focusing on like that's like my biggest thing with the Bond films. Like you can go out into the Bond universe, you just don't have to talk about like
Yeah.
007 the whole time. So I don't know. That's
Eh,
always been my take on it.
See, and my take with that also is like in the realm of comic book characters is don't change the character, make a new character. You're in the realm of superhero movies, yet we just take like Thor. Thor's going to be a female. They changed it in the thing. It's Jane Foster now. She's new Thor in the Thor Love and Thunder coming out. Iron Man's a female now. Don't change the character to fit the agenda. Make a new character. It's
Yep.
easy. I mean, especially now 007, that's another one you can, like you said, go into the whole thing. I know there are some movies that they're role reversing that you can't really, like the new Splash movie coming out with Channing Tatum and stuff. It's a remake of Tom Hanks's Splash where it's role reverse. Now Channing Tatum's the mermaid. We talked about that before. That kind of stuff, I don't care for. I mean,
Yeah,
the
it is what it
Ghostbusters,
is.
the female Ghostbusters, never watched it, didn't care for it. There's some people in there that I don't like or find funny. Um, Excited about the new Ghostbusters though. That
Man. Oh, it
that
looks
one
so
looks really
good.
good. What about you, Dylan? What do you got that you want to see?
Man, we got the Eternals coming out. I'm really
Ooh.
excited to see the Eternals because I have not read any comics about the Eternals. I know nothing of them. So, of course, I'm excited about that. And then we've also got what was it? Uh, no, the Eternals. I'm not even going to talk about Spider-Man because everybody's talking about Spider-Man.
Gonna say you Spider-Man.
Well, we'll talk about it in December. We'll talk about it in December. Um, but yeah, I'm excited for the Eternals. And dang it, dude, there was something in Alamo that I saw that I was kind of looking looking forward to. But mainly, what's been on my mind is I'm about to get my tickets. Like I said, for the Eternals, it comes out 2 weekends, November 4th. So,
Well, we'll see
that
if it wins the poll on the Patreon.
right. Well,
I'm not
gonna see it
excited.
anyway.
I'm not excited about it. Well, that's what I'm
Really?
saying. I will. If it wins the poll, I will go watch it.
And I'm like
Wow.
super. That's been like I think that might be the one I'm most excited about as far as like Marvel movies. I think is the
There you go.
Eternals.
Maybe it's a trailer.
Yeah.
I don't. The trailer did nothing for me. Did not excite me to want to see that movie. But I don't know. Maybe we'll see it, and it's like
Yeah, you never know.
kind of like Carnage, where I thought it was gonna be awesome. But is that the only one you can that you're excited to see? You find that one
Yeah,
that you
I think so. No, I'm pretty sure that's really it.
so there's a
Um,
couple.
okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
So I just saw the trailer for Jake Gyllenhaal's new movie Ambulance. If you have not seen that trailer yet, check that out.
That made you
That
want to see that movie? Oh my goodness.
I think it looks really
Oh my
interesting.
goodness, dude.
You don't think so?
No,
I th-
I think that's gonna be a
a flop.
thumbs down for me, my friend. I don't know. I think that's gonna flop.
I'm kind of excited to see Uncharted because
Yeah.
I liked the game and I like Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg, so I think they're gonna do a good combo.
I didn't
Playing
watch the
that.
trailer yet.
No.
Ooh, you have to.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
good
I've
one.
never played any Uncharted games, so I don't know. I
I
mean,
Doesn't
played
maybe
matter.
it should
That
one.
be might be
trailer.
good.
That
It might be
trailer is
good
so
to.
good.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Um, Red looks super interesting. Um, Ryan Reynolds, The Rock, and Gail Gadot.
Oh yeah.
That looks interesting. I'm excited to see that one. Uh, I watched. Did I watch? I haven't watched anything in a while. I haven't got to sit down and. My wife
Yeah,
just
same.
started season 2 of Lock and Key.
Mm-hmm.
I
Starting that
didn't
today.
watch the first one, so I haven't watched the first season.
I heard good things. I didn't see any of it yet, but I heard really good things.
I did finish Midnight Mass.
Mm-hmm.
I
You
am
That
having
was
a hard time getting through that.
a good series. I
But it's
liked it.
good though. It's good though, but I'm just like I just know I'm like, oh, I gotta sit down.
I think it was a very interesting. A lot of it I called from the get go. Um, so I mean, it's not like it's super surprising. I mean, it might surprise some people. Me, I called it from the get go. How many episodes you on, Jimmy?
I only have 2 more left.
Okay, so you see the old lady at the beginning, and then the way she is now.
Mm.
Like I called that from the very first episode where it showed her. I even told my wife, I'm like, "Why? She's makeup. It's there's, it's obvious she's makeup." And she's like, "Why would they do that?" I'm like, "They're probably gonna age reverse her. I mean, that's the only reason I can think of why you would make up somebody that's young."
Hmm.
So called that. Called the Reverend from
Yeah,
I
that
think the
one.
second or third episode. Yeah. So I mean, not unpredictable, but a really good show. I haven't seen much of anything else.
I started
So
watching Brand New Cherry Flavor on Netflix. It's a mini series.
It looks
It's
weird.
yeah, it's very spooky and freaky and another show that similar to Midnight Mass. You're like, man, we're like, are we gonna get there? Are we gonna get there? But it's but the visuals are keeping me going with it. So, and I really like the story so far.
I'm gonna have to check that one out. I haven't seen that one. I don't get on Netflix very often, unless
I
my
don't
wife
either.
tells me
Just
to.
once in a while, I'll be like, oh my god, I got an extra free hour. I'm gonna watch a TV show.
Same. That's exactly what I did Friday after I got off work, and I was like, "Oh man, I started watching Inside Job, an animated show on Netflix, and it's definitely one that it's probably going to be put on that monitor right after this podcast as I do some work. So,
Nice.
I really like good. I think Netflix does really good shows. I really do. I mean,
Mhm.
Yeah, they do.
I finished Squid Game. That was interesting. It's not so hot right now anymore. You know, it was blowing up there a couple weeks
I was
ago,
gonna say,
but
yeah, it fizzled out quick.
it did fizzle out quick. But I mean, it's a TV show. I mean, it there was a few things in it that I was like, they never answered that. Like, what the, I don't know. There were some things that I was like, whoa, bro, they mentioned this and never went back to it. And but I mean, other than that, yeah, I thought it was a pretty good show. I thought it was pretty cool. If they come out with a second season, I'd watch it.
Nice.
I don't think I've seen every episode. I've caught episodes from here and there. Um, awesome concept. Definitely a good
Yeah.
concept.
I took it as like a metaphor to the real world. Like, there's an episode where a doctor is cheating, and the host is like, we're sorry that you've faced this unfairness. You have to face that in the real world. We don't want it here. And I was like, dude, it's right. Some people literally have an advantage just because of what they know in the real world. And so I don't know. I was, me, James, I'm always looking for a deeper, like what they're trying to say.
Oh yeah.
And yeah.
So let's talk about some movie news. I think this needs to be addressed. We've all heard it. We all know what happened. We don't know what happened, but we have our suspicions. Alec Baldwin incident shot and killed
Mm-hmm.
the director of photography on their independent film Rust, and
Mm-hmm.
um, and injured the director.
Yep.
So, you guys got any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I do.
Terrible.
I think it's a terrible thing, and I think it's even worse the fact that this could have been easily preventable. And one of the big things is there was a walkout on that film, which is what caused this. And one of the main sticking points in their write up they did was unsafe gun conditions.
Yep.
Like, so it's just like this. Not only could this have been prevented from like just day one of like just understanding your props and like why is there ever live ammunition? Like
Even
you don't
Why?
need it.
Mm-hmm.
Like why
Ever.
is that? Like you don't need that. Like you're at a studio. Like why? And it's like it could have again been not prevented again if we would have just listened to these people that have like really like deep concerns about it. And well, see what happens. Unfortunately.
Yeah, you've educated me. I did not know. I didn't know that there was a walkout.
Yep.
I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know that that was even a thing. And so, knowing that now, that definitely makes me think, oh, like,
Mm,
Yeah, it was six.
that.
It was six union workers walked out because of the safety issue, and then they hired six non-union workers, and then this happened. Um,
Mm,
I, I can't stand Alec Baldwin. Not a fan of him as a person. I did like a lot of his acting growing up. Beetlejuice, he was awesome. 30 Rock, awesome show. I
yeah,
mean, he's funny.
yeah,
He's a good actor. As a person, I can't stand him. I would never ever wish this upon anybody,
no,
um, because it's horrible. But on the other side, I feel like Alec Baldwin deserved it from what he. I don't know if you've ever seen or if you followed so back in the day when Dick Cheney shot somebody when he was hunting,
right,
the crap that Alec Baldwin posted about how can you accidentally kill somebody, you should go to prison, blah blah blah, like just mean tweets and everything about what happened. So I feel like it was karma just, I mean, it should have never happened in the first place. But I
Right.
feel like it may put Alec Baldwin in his place to where, like, maybe humble him a little bit. Maybe I'm hoping for
Right.
some humbleness coming out of the situation
Yeah.
for him because of what happened.
I
But
mean,
yeah, definitely.
it's very unfortunate that this man's wake up call in his 60s needs to be because he killed somebody on accident.
Yeah.
On accident,
But
man.
like,
It's super
he's
unfortunate.
not a great person. He's not a great person to work for, and it's evident in like the conditions that these workers were talking about, and it's evident in his actions. And I think it's time that, like, you know, just take this on a more of a macro scale. Maybe we start listening to people a little bit more when they talk about like what
Hmm.
they're actually like working in and dealing with. Cause I
Yep.
would say like 90% of the time people have like valid concerns.
Oh
And
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. On a set, there's so much going on, and I think like you said, everybody's voice should be heard of what their opinions or what you think is going on. If you've got concerns, definitely follow through with those. Um, I know a lot of people are asking why, in our day and age, do we still need prop guns that can shoot live ammo? Um, I know it, I'm 50-50 there because you really do get the feel of the gun and the the
Right.
the like for realness of the scene being able to shoot and it pop off like a pop gun or cap gun like when we were younger and stuff. Um, but on the other side, we shoot our low budget films. We have guns that are blowback, but you can't put any ammo in them. Like there's no
Right.
clip or anything. There's no magazine. You can't do anything like that. So I'm 50-50 because you do get the realness of it, but you also can get away with the ones that just blow back and don't have anything that you can put in them because 90% of the muzzle flash and everything is CG. But I mean,
yeah,
you do get the little pop where the editor can like line up and know when to put it, but it can be done without it. So,
my thing is maybe because I grew up around guns, but there is such a noticeable difference between live ammo and blanks.
yep,
There is such a noticeable difference, and it's like it blows. I just like I can't for the life of me think why there was ever live ammo on that set. Like somebody just brought
Yeah.
their gun. This is exactly how I think happened. Somebody brought their gun from home and they used it on set. There wasn't any type of like spot checks or like clearing it. Somebody just brought in a
yep,
gun and they didn't check it at all.
yep. Well,
Mm.
see, and some people, I don't. Some people are speculating that it because it's Alec Baldwin, and it was a female cinematographer. Uh, Something going on there, but yeah. But yeah, like you said, there's a big difference between the two. Um,
Oh
and
yeah.
it shouldn't have happened. A lot of people are saying, "Oh yeah, it's what happened with the Brandon Lee, in The Crow," but it's not. It's not. It's not the same because this was live ammunition. It was an actual bullet on set here. And The Crow, Brandon actually, it was a blank, but it lodged sideways, and when it popped, it actually projected it out.
Fired.
So
Right.
it was not meant to. This was, um, I don't think it
This
was
was
meant
like
to either, but
right.
it was definitely live that happened. Definitely,
But like
definitely
you saying,
sad.
Jimmy, yeah, like Jimmy said, why was there ever live ammunition on the set?
Hmm.
Yep. Just
There's no. I mean,
unacceptable.
I mean, yeah, I do really agree with you. I mean, I'm not a professional. I don't, you know, but Alec Baldwin and that cat and that team is, you know,
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
it's
Will
terrible
Smith
that
released
someone
a
lost their
video.
life.
Yeah, Will Smith released a video. Um, because he was on set of a movie once too, and they were going through and everything, and a guy picked up the prop gun and had it pointed at everybody, and as he did that, Will Smith slapped it away, took it from him, opened up the thing, told him, "This is what you do: you check, you slide it back, check." Like he did it, and it's like, man, unsafe, unsafe. Like he was
No,
telling him that it was like, I mean, so
yeah,
there are people that are trained to do it. Why it wasn't here, I don't know. I still don't know how. he shot two people. Like
I
how,
was wondering the
because
same thing.
like how do you shoot and kill the first person, but then injure the second person?
Injure somebody
Uh,
else.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, did you get multiple shots? I don't know. It's a sad story.
Right.
Let's get into something a little lighter, and that is,
Yeah, let's do
oh
that.
my God, have you heard that they're making a Barbie movie, live action Barbie movie?
Oh man, look at the time. Gotta go, boys.
I was literally about to say, I'm done.
Yeah,
Yeah, I did not know that. That's
yeah,
what a waste of camera battery.
yep. So they casted Margot Robbie as Barbie
Oh no.
and Ryan Gosling as Ken. So apparently
I'm
it's greenlit.
disappointed. I'm
It's
disappointed in
greenlit.
her.
uh, whatever pays the bills, I guess. I don't know. So I figure we can light note on that and end it with
Oh my
a
God.
horrible movie that they're gonna. I don't know.
Jeez,
Maybe it's
why?
amazing. Maybe it's gonna be the greatest movie of the year. The
Yeah.
story would just be
Oh my.
phenomenal. I mean, they've had almost
Yeah.
100 years of story that they can go by.
Sometimes you just have to
Right.
go and go, you know what? Maybe not.
Like,
No.
yeah, someone should have been like, like, do we have any ideas on the Barbie thing? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
How about no?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, how about we don't do it, boss? How about we don't?
How
Well,
about we don't do that?
the funny thing is we all sit here and we talk about, man, can they just make a movie they haven't made yet? Everything's a freaking remake. They just keep remaking movies. Do we have any ideas that are not remakes? And then they come out with one they haven't made yet. And then we're like, let's go back to making remakes. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yep, I think there's a
I
movie
would
that has not been
prefer
remade yet.
I
I
would
just think
prefer
that-
a Furby movie over a Barbie movie.
Well, I just think there needs to be more films. So I don't think I think there needs to be more films with like original IP.
Yes.
Is what like Barbie is a toy. Barbie, there's a Barbie universe. Like they have a story to pull
Yeah, I
from.
guess
I
so.
think that like there needs to be like more like original like IP. Like make a new like villain or make a new kind of like universe. But who knows?
See, that's so being in the film, and I mean, we've talked about we need to sit down and we need to collab and we need to talk
Mhm.
about ideas. That is the hardest thing I believe to do right now is to come up with something that has not been done because movies have been around for so many years.
Mhm.
I mean, you can put a new twist on something that's been done, but I truly believe that it is very hard to make an original movie now.
Yeah, I agree.
I can't even think of a movie in the past. I'm 38. The years that have not they haven't made that they made an original movie that hasn't had some concept or idea of another movie.
Yep.
Can you think of anything that
No.
has any originality to it?
I would say and I know maybe not, but it's like Malignant. That was like a different take on like an actual like paranormal type movie. Now those
Yeah.
movies have been done, but I think the actual like character themselves was a very like original.
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
thing. But other
I mean,
than
there's a
that,
lot
like,
of those.
yeah, but I don't think there's like one movie that's like completely original from start to finish. I mean, I would love to see it. I'd
Right,
love to be
because-
wrong.
Yeah, I would love
I mean,
to
that's
see
human nature to want to mimic something in slight way, even if it's not mimic, but get that inspiration to want to make, something made George Lucas want to make Star Wars. Something
Dude.
made George R. R. Tolkien want to write Lord of the Rings. I've, oh, Dune, yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
made Lucas want to
Yeah,
write.
he read that book and he's like, oh man, this would
So
make a
what
great
made
movie.
Herbert want to write Dune? The Bible.
The Bible.
I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean there was a quote out there. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it's because people are concerned about copying people and doing like I know that's a big thing with the YouTube channel is copying other people and their content. But the thing is it's everything is a copy of something. It's just made different. Like you're pulling
Right.
the inspiration from it, get inspired by it, and make it your own.
It's hard. I would say, and now I think I'm on a different side of this than most, maybe as far as like also being a content creator myself and like making videos like the rest of us here. I think like you're going to make videos that are similar to other people's videos. Like you're never going to not be able to do that, but I think like as long as you bring like you into the video and you make it like like if you just directly rip off somebody, like that's not okay. But if you have an idea, you're like, "Oh, that's cool. I'm just going to rewrite it. I'm going to take it and I'm going to act it in my own way." I think that's fine.
All right.
I'm just gonna copy every single one of LoMo Media's films.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm sure if we sat down and looked at all of ours, I could be like, "Oh, I watched something there that made me think of that. That's why I wrote that." Or, "Oh, I thought of this.
Oh yeah.
That's why I wrote that." So
Like your "We Are What We Watch" episode. You know? Yeah.
Always.
He sits down and watch Riverdale. That was my favorite part. It was super funny.
So, with that being said, we're going to end it here. That is all the time that we have today. So, we're going to let Jimmy plug away, good sir.
Oh, you're going to let me plug. Nice. Do a little plug here. So you can
Let's do
find LoMo Media over on YouTube. We post a video moving forward every Friday. Hopefully, starting next year, we'll actually hit that every Friday. We do different content, IRL, scripted. And then, as I said earlier in this podcast, we have our first quote short film coming out this weekend. Hopefully, it's called Open Window. Excited for that one. Currently editing it right now, so we'll see if it makes it. And you can find our At the Movies and After the Movies wherever you stream your podcast. Wherever you listen to this one, you can find us as well. We'll be talking about Dune in 2 weeks, so you can hear it all over again.
Yes. Awesome. And Mr. Badger over there, plug away.
You guys can find me at Facebook Gaming and Twitch, LoMo Badger. It's I've really become a huge variety gamer. I'm saying to hell with the algorithm. I'm doing what I want, and yeah, a lot of spooky games right now. We will be doing a cosplay. I've got a character that I've made based off of something that I like. So you guys be checking into the streams this week. I think you'll like it. Every stream I'll be in costume, and I'm gonna try to stay in character. I'm gonna try. It probably won't happen,
Excited.
but yeah, check me out there. Follow me on all the socials that I don't ever post on.
Yes.
There's a ton of incentive.
I feel you there. Yeah, and Filmcore Digital can be found on YouTube, main platform that we're focusing on, but also Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Not building much over there, but I think we'll start. TikTok, Filmcore Digital's starting a TikTok. We're going to get back into the groove of things. It's been a little stressful lately, but we're going to try to really push it. Everybody's links that are here today are going to be in the description of this video, and if you're just listening, they're going to be in there too. So definitely go check everybody out. And until the next week, we will catch you later.
Goodbye, everybody.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's always a pleasure.
Thank you.
This should be.
Man.
This should be. If Jimmy didn't already have his thing,